Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be explaining every energy nature, so let's get into it. And there's three rarities for the awakenings and energy natures, which is common, which has a 70% chance, rare, which has a 20% chance, and legendary, which has a 10% chance. So starting off with the common energy natures, dense, which gives me a 50% extra defense when using curse reinforcement. So curse reinforcement by itself gives an 8% defense when you use it, but the dense just buffs it a lot. So when this guy hits me, it's 63 damage for an M1. And when I use curse reinforcement, it's only 55.8. It honestly does nothing. I don't see anyone using curse reinforcement in any of their builds, so this is something that you definitely do not want to get. So moving on to the next common, it's called concussive, and it gives me an extra second of guard break when I use M1 or heavy attacks. So this is definitely not good in PvE, but I could see it being way better in PvP, where a lot of people do like to block. But getting that extra second could be useful. So it's not bad depending on the game mode you play. In PvE, I don't think that it's going to be that useful because the bosses and enemies don't block at all. But in PvP, where people do block, that extra 1 second could be useful. So moving on to the rare energy natures, Flaming, which gives a 1 second flaming status effect on Divergent Fist M1s, and the heavy attack applies it as well. So Divergent Fist has a 40-second cooldown, but when you activate it, the cooldown does run out, so you can use Divergent Fist a lot more often than the other techniques in the game. So if you do get Flaming, I would look into a Black Flash build because this is a really good energy nature. And for the last rare energy nature, it's Wet, and 1 second Wet status effect on Divergent Fist M1s, and the heavy attack applies Wet as well. So what it does is that when you activate Divergent Fist, your M1s will apply the debuff Wet, and when they're hit with that, it decreases their speed and it decreases the damage they do. So in PvP, I could see this being really useful because the slowdown is really annoying to deal with, especially in a fast-paced combat game like this. But in PvE, I don't really see it doing anything because the bosses already don't do a lot of damage and there's no point in getting damage reduction. And the speed doesn't really do anything either because they're always just going to be moving faster or teleporting somewhere. So moving on to the legendary energy natures, Electric, which my Divergent Fist creates a chain of lightning that also stuns, and Curse Reinforcement becomes a burst, and it also applies electricity. So this one's actually really cool when your Divergent Fist is up and you hit someone. In close proximity, people will get hit by the chained lightning. When you use Curse Reinforcement, you actually do a burst of electric damage. It's kind of AoE. So I'd say this one's really good since you could hit them with your innates, and then after you could just switch to Divergent, and your M1s will still do it, and you could still be using your innate techniques. And now moving on to the next energy nature, which is Rough. So Rough is actually the energy nature that I'm looking for because I want to do a Black Flash build, and it pairs really well with Black Flashes because Black Flashes are just chanceable heavies, and it pairs really well with Rough. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you guys learned something new.